Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantel Francis, and we are here to talk about Love Island UK, episode 12. So we pretty much finished the second week of Love Island. It's getting better. It is getting better because we were kind of like, last week, we're just like, maybe these guys are a little bit of a dud. But these bombshells, Millie and Lucinda that came in, they are shaking things up. They're doing what they're meant to do, get these men's heads to be turned. And not that I want these women to lose their partners and essentially be kicked out of the villa, but at least there's some action going. I just really don't find the men interesting or attractive. I wish that, spoiler alert, that the new bombshell that's coming in was 2 of them or something, because I want to get rid of 2 of these men. The men, they're not it for me, in my opinion. And I would like one of the men to be gone, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. It just seems like one of the women's going to be gone. And I think that it's probably going to be Faye if we look at the the next episode preview. So I don't even want Faye to go. I find that she's decently interesting. At least she brings some heat sometimes. Hi, I'm Jordan. Oh my God, I literally got my feet ready to watch it live, but then you weren't live. Now it's cold and I'm too lazy to microphone. I'm sorry, I'm Jordan. It's okay. So my mom's birthday was yesterday, so I came to her house. And so I have my twin niece and nephew. They're 3 years old. And so I was just trying to get ready, but then they wanted me to play with them. So I was just trying hard to juggle these kids and get on the stream. So I have them downstairs, playing on their leapfrog so I can come on and talk to you guys. So I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes. Thank you. I'm sorry that your food is cold, though. I'm Jordan. Okay, I'm going to try to be more punctual. I do say between 2 and 3. I want to get this in because it's only about a half an hour usually for these recaps for Love Island US or UK. But okay, thank you. I feel so bad. But yeah, between 2 and 3 for sure, I'll be getting in. I try to get in by 2:30 so I can be done by 3, and then at 3, usually I can get on to do Love Island USA. So I'm doing my best. It's a daily commitment. Twins, they're 3. What can I do? What can I do? So at the beginning of this episode, I thought it was kind of hilarious that I don't even know how they find these songs, but the song was, talking about some girl cooking in the kitchen, and messing things up. I don't know, anything. It had to do with cooking in the kitchen. And we saw, I think it was Kaz that was cooking in the kitchen when they're singing this song. Things are brewing, things are being created. So we know that there's going to be a little bit of interest in Kaz for this episode. Chloe and Toby come down from the lookout, and she is so happy. And Kaz is kind of rolling her eyes. I think she's talking to Sharon and just being like, oh, they probably kissed. I know they kissed. I know that they kissed. They're both just so happy. They're so happy. And so Kaz is starting to get a little bit irritated. And but then she's starting to kind of well up and cry a little bit. And that's understandable because she's been trying for the last 2 weeks to get closer to Toby. She's taking it at his pace, not allowing things to go too far, just allowing him to go at his pace. And then this woman walks in, takes him up to the lookout, and already it's an accelerated version of Toby. And so I can understand Kaz being like, well, what about me? What did I do? Why am I not good enough for you to be opening up to me right away? So it's just because he was never that into you. I'm sorry, Kaz. It sucks. I'm glad I'm watching Love Island UK right now. It's better than watching Frenchie on the feeds. Natalie, I'm doing a live feed for the week update tomorrow with Josh from Couch Potato Queens. And I don't even know where to start. It's such a mess that I don't even know how to curate it into something that's understandable. It's just, what is the episode going to look like tomorrow? It's just going to be another mess. What are they going to show us? But anyways, you're totally right. I'm loving Love Island US. I think that they're doing a really good job this season. I think the casting was decent. And UK is picking up. It's getting a lot better. But Sharon's don't cry, don't cry. We don't want Chloe to see that you're affected, that you're crying. And she's just kind of like down on Chloe a little bit, being like, she just goes out and strokes these guys' ego and the guys just eat it up, which is kind of true. But she also isn't afraid of them rejecting her. And I think that that's kind of what Kaz was doing a little bit, is that she didn't want to fully be herself because she didn't want Toby to reject her. She didn't want Toby to, think that she's coming on too strong. She didn't want Toby to have a certain impression of her. So she was just kind of holding back, I think, the whole time. And Chloe doesn't care. If Toby doesn't like her, she doesn't care. She'll go on to the next guy. And I think that her carefreeness, and she doesn't need this guy to validate her in any sort of way. That's what's really attracting these men, that she's just like, she's not needy in any sort of way. They don't feel like they have to like make sure that she feels okay about anything. She's just kind of like, well, like, do you like me? Tell me that you like me. If you don't like me, you don't like me. And she kind of is very clear with her intentions. And I think it unsettles the guys. And so it just kind of, it challenges them in a way that's intriguing, and it kind of enacts their innate nature to want to pursue. So not that Kaz isn't an amazing and beautiful woman, but how she has been interacting with Toby isn't as attractive as the confidence that Chloe is giving off whenever she's in interaction with any of these men. So that is the difference. I don't really see her stroking their ego that much. She kind of, makes fun of them for the most part, and like has a little bit of teasing banter is kind of her style, in my opinion. So we see Faye pulling Chloe over for a chat because, the last time we saw them together, Faye was having a little bit of a go at Chloe. And so Faye wants to clear the air, and they do. They hug. They say that they're fine. Faye says in the confessional, we're not fine. We're not fine, but we'll pretend we're fine right now. And I think that that's just going to be a running theme with Faye. And I like that. Like, she's willing to admit when she's wrong, but she's also willing to stand up for what she wants in the moment. So I like that about Faye. Millie and Liam have a conversation, and they're starting to really let each other know that they're attracted to each other. She says, was it him or her? One of them says, I'm like, I feel like I want to kiss you. They just really just like, keep on telling each other how much they just want to make out with each other and be with each other. And you're my favorite. No, you're my favorite. You're my favorite. So they're getting flirty, but like with a little bit of sexual chemistry backing it up a little bit. And Millie in her confessional is like, maybe Faye needs to worry about me. And I was like, ooh. And then she says, you know what? I have to say, she used a line that I use, sort of. So on my Bumble profile, it's only worked essentially once, but it asks you these questions about like, who would you, like what would something that you'd want in a potential match? So I don't know what the question exactly was. And I said, I'm looking for somebody that gives me fanny flutters, as they say in the UK. And I did meet one guy. Well, we chatted. It's COVID, so we didn't actually meet in person, but chatted for a couple months, or 1 month. And he's from the UK, so he actually got it right away. And so Millie leans into Liam and is like, you give me fanny flutters. And so that is also my barometer. Which I think is hilarious. But I mean, it's a good measure of when you have an attraction to somebody. So it's on my Bumble profile, just so you guys know a little bit more about me. Liam talks to Faye, and Liam is saying that he's enjoying getting to know both her and Millie, and making it seem as though he's thinking about it and he's still like going back and forth, when we all know there's not a chance that Faye is surviving this with Liam choosing her. No chance. I wrote down Brad and Lucinda. I don't even know what I've talked about them. They have a couple of conversations, and they really like each other. They just say how beautiful each other is, and I'm not really plussed. Like, I don't really care about their relationship, unfortunately. I just find it quite boring. They're very, very good looking people, but she's just like, oh really? Really? Oh really? Like, that's the only thing she ever really says. She doesn't really contribute to the conversation. Yeah, me too, M. Jordan. I don't know if it's just me. Liam, none of the men bring any, Aaron maybe a little bit, but none of the men bring any sort of chat to the table. Like, I'm just not interested in them. I don't know if you're watching Too Hot to Handle, this most recent one, but Cam is like what I think of the typical British lad that goes on Love Island. I don't know why they wasted him on Too Hot to Handle. He should have done Love Island. Like, him and Emily would have been a perfect Love Island duo. Like, perfect. And so that's the type of guy, like, and he has just like, he's not even that good looking, but he has swag, he has the chat, he like knows, he has the banter, like he's just good at interacting with women. And I find him interesting. And so I don't know where they found these men, but they just aren't that interesting. I don't know if it's because their careers aren't ones that are relatable. Maybe the other men in the past, like Ovi, who is awesome. He's a basketball player, so he kind of has like a charm and like a sophistication about him that, like, you know, he's met a lot of different people from all over the world, maybe. But I just feel like these guys are just duds, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys are lovely in real life. I'm just talking about it from a television perspective. I am not that intrigued by any of them. And Liam, I think he's just tall. Like, that's what Millie was saying. He's so tall. You're so tall. You're so tall. It's so hot. And it's like, tall is hot, but like, Liam, 21, no chat, tall, boring to me. Boring. So, oh, that's what happened. Okay. So, Brad and Lucinda, when they were having their little chit chat, and Lucinda's like, so what did you think about the kiss? Because they had a little bit of a snog. It was more like a peck in the previous challenge. And he's like, it was pretty good. Why don't we do it again? And like, it was like a full-on kiss. Like, it wasn't just like a getting to know you kiss. It was like, let's get down. He said, want to try? So smooth there, Brad. So smooth. Lucinda's like giggling, and she says she feels like a little girl. And I do feel like she does make Brad look like a little boy. So maybe this is kind of like, you know, the beautiful young girl when he was like 6 years old, like the cute frilly dress, the blonde hair and the ribbons, and that he just like thought was just so cute. Like, I do feel there's a little bit of a childhood crush type situation between the two of them, which I think is interesting. A little bit. Big Greg, there's no way Liam's actually 21, right? Well, you think he's older? He doesn't seem that mature. Hi, Big Greg. Doesn't seem that mature at all. I don't know. I believe it. But what's really interesting, I have a little sister, and she's 21, and she's not like, she's quite a young 21. So I guess, like, I believe that he's 21. I don't think he's older. I don't. Like, Molly May, wasn't she like 19? Like, she's a little more mature than Liam seems to be. And like, Tommy was 18 or 19. They're just about the same level of like adultness. Millie and Liam just talk about sex. True. I personally don't think Millie is boring. I like Millie. Well, I think she's interesting. I like her. I like all the women more than I like any of the men. But I think the reason why she sex talks so much is because any of the conversations they have are boring. Bing, 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 bing. If you have other things to talk about, you wouldn't only talk about sex. Because once they end up having sex or like start making out a little bit more, they're going to realize that there's absolutely nothing else to the relationship. Just like that attraction. So we'll see what happens. What? Natalie. Hi, Natalie. A YouTuber broke into the villa and was taken out by security. Is this for USA or UK? It must have been USA. Must have been USA. That's so funny. I mean, hopefully everybody's safe. Like, I think it's funny unless somebody got hurt. Why are they doing that? People are so weird. So would they fly to Hawaii to go to break into the villa? So you're giving us a bad name as YouTubers. Stop it. Okay, so they're all getting, so everybody screams after they kiss, of course. And you see like Jake running over to Brad, giving him a big hug. We call it a hooju. So with the Bachelorette, there's what are they called? My goodness, I'm sorry. I forgot the name of the podcast, but they kind of rate some of the activities that happen on The Bachelorette and Bachelor as kind of like it's a sport. And so they named it, I just called it the hug jump, but they called it the hooju, like the hug, H-U-Ju jump. And so that's when somebody runs, jumps, and wraps their legs around the other person. And so they do it in slow motion, and they kind of rate them. Like some of them are pick up and then legs wrap around. So Jake did the hooju to Brad after he found it or saw them that they were kissing. So we see them all getting ready for bed. It was kind of cute. Toby and Jake were dancing in like the policeman hats and with their shirts off. Kind of like strippers, but also kind of goofy. Toby and Kaz are going to talk about everything tomorrow. I think that they were saying this in bed. I think the lights were off at this point. We'll talk about everything tomorrow. And that's never a good sign when you're Kaz. That is not a good sign. Now, what did you guys think of the fact that in the bed, Sharon was cuddling with Aaron and she was like kind of like scratching his face and like she said, his hand around him. What do you think of that? It was the UK, really? So they went to, are they in Spain? I think they are, yeah. Wow, you have the link. M. Jordan, get that link over to me. Can you please send it to Reality Realness with 3 S's at gmail.com? I need that. I'll post it in my shorts. I love that. As long as it looks as silly as I'm picturing it. I'm picturing it somebody like streaking the house, but they're just like with like an iPhone. So it was UK. That's hilarious though. I wonder if they were scared or were they like, get out. Like, Sharon would take him back in a heartbeat and Aaron knows it, I think. She's playing it pretty cool right now. I don't know what she's going to do. I'm not sure if he's going to take her back. Let me think. How are things going to reshuffle right now? Are they going to? So we know that Millie is going to be taken by Liam. We get that. So Faye is going to have no partner. We know Toby is going to take Chloe, leaving Kaz available. We know that Brad is going to take Lucinda, leaving Rachel vulnerable. So Aaron, is he going to take Kaz and maybe keep Kaz safe because they're best friends in the villa? And then that would leave Aaron, and then maybe Hugo would take Sharon back or Faye. And then there's the new guy, Teddy, who it looks as though is interested in Rachel. So I don't know. Aaron just needs to like get over himself and give her another chance. That's my thought. I think that he's being a little bit uppity. He's going to bide his time until someone else comes in. Yeah, I mean, I can see that too. So what else is left here? 10 more minutes. Oh my God, I have a lot left. Okay, so the lads have a little bit of a chat. I guess it's in the morning. Toby is telling the boys that he is going to go and talk to Kaz and tell her everything. And that they kissed Chloe. I'm like, that's not going to go over well. Sharon feels that Aaron's giving her mixed signals, which I think he is. And I think it's just for the reasons that you guys have stated. The fact that he wants to keep her trailer along until, until somebody else comes along that he likes better. So I agree with you there. And hopefully she puts her foot down, but I don't think she will. Girl chat. But Sharon does say that she's down for a cuddle and a snog, which we've seen now in the bedroom. But you're totally right, though. I do think she's going to take him back. Faye does say Karma is a bitch, and I want to see what happens with Karma, because I think it's going to be that like maybe Lucinda gets into this relationship with Brad and realizes that Brad sucks. I don't know, but not good. So the naughty trio is formed, and that's Lucinda, Millie, and Chloe. Chloe is just happy that she has these other two bombshells because they're on her level. They kind of know that they come in to like stir things up, and so they do have a different type of vibe with all the other women that were the OG women in the villa. They're on her wavelength, is what she said. On her wavelength. Okay. I wouldn't give her another chance either. If you are off someone, you are off them. If the reason's small, forcing something isn't it. Well, I'm just thinking that if there wasn't the option of the other women, he might not have forced himself to be turned off so easily, you know? But whatever he decides. Whatever he's going to decide. I love Kaz being unbothered. That was like the epic moment. So what Sam is saying here, hi Sam, is that Toby pulls Kaz for a chat and says that, you know, it's more of a friend thing with him and Kaz, and that he's more interested in Chloe, and that they kissed outside of the challenge. And she's like, today or yesterday? And he's like, we kissed yesterday. And she's just like clocking like the fact that he didn't tell her till today. Okay, I get you. I see you, Toby. And Toby's like, I feel like you want to say something to me. I feel like you want to say something. I feel like you know something. You want to say something, and he just wants her to pop off, and that's really irritating. And I'm so happy that she was just like, no, I don't. And he just must have felt guilty, because at least if she got mad at him, he could feel justified in what he was doing. But if she's just like unbothered, he's just like, I don't know how to react right now, because she's not giving me a reaction that like makes me powerful as a man. So I loved how unbothered she was. And wait, what's speakers? Oh yeah. And like, I think that he wanted her to make him feel better about this decision. Be like, it's okay, Toby, you go find love. Like she didn't put all of that in to make him feel good about his decision and not feel like crap. I love that. I was like, Cass, like don't smile, just like stay cold. I was living for her unbotheredness. So yeah, she heard what he had to say, and she's kind of obviously irritated by it. She's a lot mad at Chloe as well, because like Chloe knows that she's been interested in Toby and is hearing some of the chats about like some of the issues that they've been having. And so for her to kind of go in and like shake things up this way is a little bit catty. But Chloe just keeps on saying like, I didn't come here for friends. I came here to find a partner. So that's also true. So Kaz, Liberty, and Sharon are having a little bit of chat. She talks about how he likes her and wants us to explore things with Chloe. And somebody said like, oh, like she wants her to be waving down the aisle at them getting married. It's like, absolutely not. She's not going to be endorsing this, but she's going to allow them to do whatever they want to do. But she's not going to be super excited and happy about it, which she shouldn't. I think that they both kind of handled it in a tacky kind of way. Chloe does pull Chaz over for a little bit of a chat, and Kaz is still pretty good with how she's reacting to Chloe. She just kind of wished that they had said something yesterday, and Chloe says that she wanted to, but it was Toby that wanted to wait until today. So Chloe's even throwing Toby under the bus, which is also quite hilarious. And I don't think that Chloe heard this dig, but Kaz is like, yeah, well, I mean, I don't really expect that much from you. Brutal. So Lucinda and Brad also has another little chat. Brad says that he does like the cooking and the cleaning and stuff like that. So when we're together, like I'll be doing all the housework and you could like, you know, be the breadwinner. And then we we hear a text. We got a text. And so Gibberty, hashtag Two's Company. You're going on a date. So Liberty and Jake are going on a date. The date was pretty basic, not going to lie. And yeah, I mean, they just were kind of talking a little bit. She was wearing red lipstick, and so she was kind of worried about like giving him like a big kiss because she didn't want to get the lipstick over her face. She has been holding back from kissing him because of the fact that she wants him to be interested in her. He's been saying that he's been saying that he wants to go look at other women that are his type that come into the villa. And so she's not really here for that. If you're not really into me, like I'm not going to be giving you any affection and cuddles if you're just waiting to go and meet somebody else. I just want to message to Mika, who's going to be on the Love Island recap in right now, just telling her that I'm a couple minutes late. So just give me a second. I'm just finishing up Love Island UK. Ding! Hopefully she gets that so she doesn't get worried. And so I like Liberty and Jake when Jake is acting like he's interested in her, and he kind of says that he's not gonna be invested in anybody else, and he wants to put all of his time and energy into Liberty. So I do hope that that's true, because like I just don't want him to break little Liberty's heart. She's so sweet. And she started to even say after the date when she came back, she's like, I'm falling in with him. So she's starting to fall. And I don't think he's starting to fall. I just hope that he's being genuine, because I don't want her to get hurt at all. And he doesn't seem to me like he fully cares. She doesn't, not in my opinion anyways. So Jake does compliment Liberty quite a bit, which I did like during their date. They drink some sangria, which was nice. And he feels like it will take a lot for him to get his head turned. And I don't think it's going to be that much, but he says that it'll take a lot. And that it's pretty black and white. I want you, he says. So this is pretty black and white. If his head gets turned, I'm going to be so irritated by him. So this is when she gave him a kiss. I want you. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And she's like, I got a kiss. So they go back to the villa holding hands. Everybody's obviously excited to see them back. We see Hugo bring Liam and Maddie some pineapple, and they talk about their favorite fruit. Oh, so interesting. Both of them like pineapple. So, like, you know that the show is showing their most interesting bits. So if the bit is about pineapple, like they're a bit boring. A bit boring. Where is this? Yes. Big Red says, as a guy, I get that it drives me crazy to get an unbothered reaction. I think he wanted her to fight him for a little bit to stroke his ego just to show she cared. Absolutely. Just unbothered. Chef's kiss. Unbothered hurts the ego like we were important. I know. Is because, like, no, he doesn't deserve to have her feel bad. I think it's only because there's nobody there interested in Jake yet. Exactly. Agreed. And hi. Hey, man, I don't know. Do you watch Love Island? Yes, Jake was getting gas for Lucinda and Millie, but they showed zero interest in him. Like, nobody's going to show interest in Jake. Sorry, Jake, you are not an unattractive man, but your whole package to me isn't that attractive. Like, you don't get all the girls, I don't think. It would take a certain someone like Lucinda, like Liberty, to be interested in Jakey. So we have a little convo with oh yeah, that's where, sorry, backing up a little bit. So that's another, like a little insert of the sexual chemistry or whatever between Liam and Millie, being like, I normally sleep naked. Me too. Okay, guys, you're amazing. So are you gonna sleep naked in the villa? I doubt it. So what's the point of saying that? Just to like allow them to be picturing you naked? Okay. So Faye and Liam have a little bit of a chat. He wanted to tell her before she found out from anybody else that she's interested in pursuing Millie. And, you know, that's probably who's going to pick the next coupling. And so she was pretty okay with it. Another person that's showing that she's unbothered, which I like, because like, don't let him get any of your power. He doesn't really deserve it. He's too wishy-washy, as most of the men have been so far. Girls, we spoke about anyone. You're the one that I want. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about there. Sometimes I make notes and I think that like, oh yeah, I'll remember what I'm saying here, and then I don't remember. So when Jake comes back to the lad, she's like, she gave in, and they're all excited for the fact that Liberty gave Jake a little bit of a kiss. And then Kaz and Liberty have a one-on-one conversation, and she's like, I might be a little falling in love. I'm like, oh no, don't fall in love with him. But he probably won't have anybody be interested in him unless the producers push it. And so Casa Moore is going to be their only test, but I do think that they're going to get to the end, because I just don't see anybody coming in for him. So there is a getting ready montage, which I always love seeing them getting dressed up. So the only people that hurt my feelings are the people that I care about. Who said that? Oh, Rachel. She's like, yeah, the only people that hurt my feelings are the people that I care about. And I was like, you know what? That's fair. That's true. But I do think she cares about Brad, or cares about how she looks, with how he's treating her. He's been pretty poor with how he's handled the situation. Lucinda and Faye have a little bit of a chat about Brad. And it seems like Lucinda might not be that into Brad. She might be seeing a little bit of red flags. Faye's kind of like, oh, well, like, does he only talk about himself? She's like, yeah. And like, she kind of like talks about like cooking and the cleaning and all this stuff, but like he just talks about himself. So I think that even if he likes, what's her name? Even if he likes Lucinda, I think that he still doesn't ask her that much about herself. Maybe that's why she's always like, really? Really? Like, that's all she really ever says to him. They don't really have any back and forth that much. But I think Faye was surprised when, he says things like wanting to do the cooking and the cleaning. He didn't really go that far with his conversations with Faye. So that was, I think, a little bit eye-opening to her, that it was a little bit different, their interaction. It wasn't like typical Brad. But she doesn't know anything about Lucinda. And they both just agree that he is beautiful. He is beautiful. He is, but his personality is so... So Millie tells Liam while she's sitting beside him that she's not wearing any knickers. Of course, because like they only have like sexual conversations. Faye, she talks about how Faye doesn't make her feel uncomfortable with the fact she's pursuing Liam. I think Faye is unbothered because Liam is a little bit young, and she doesn't want to look stupid on TV about like trying to chase some young kid that's not into her. So I think that's why she just like let it go, because like it's a better look for her to be unbothered than it is for her to be like chasing over this guy that's not into her. Millie wants to rip his clothes off though. They don't want to kiss in front of Faye, though. So at least they're being respectful in that sense. I'm sure, like, in a week, they're not going to care anymore. They're just going to be all over each other. But at least right away, before they're actually coupled, they're kind of holding back with, like, wanting to rip each other's clothes off and making out each other in front of everybody in the villa. So, Faye, I've got a text. Teddy's coming into the villa. Hashtag steady with Teddy. He's going to be picking 4 girls to go on a date. And so in the next episode, we're going to see the boys picking, so including Teddy, and there is going to be a dumping. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's episode, where we're going to see what happens here. I'm thinking that Teddy is going to pick Rachel, Faye, Kaz, and Sharon for a date, which I think is great. You think Kaz is going to be the one that's going home? That's so bad. No, I think it's going to be Faye. I don't want it to be anybody, but I think it's going to be Faye. It'll be interesting to see the girls' reaction to Teddy. Teddy, though, he seems a little bit more like older, a little bit more manly. I think that he has a little bit of banter from what I'm seeing in these clips. So I'm here for Teddy to shake things up. Hashtag steady with Teddy for sure. So thanks so much, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Netha, M. Jordan, Big Reg, Natalie, Do I have anything, everybody? Did I say Netha? If I didn't say Netha, thanks for hanging out with me in the chat here to talk about Love Island UK episode 12 of season 7. I'm going to go live right now, like on my channel, obviously, to talk about Love Island USA. So I'm going to hop off of here, and then you can hop over there right now and join me because I'm going to be going live with Tamika for the first time. We're going to be talking about episode 3. So thanks for joining me here on Reality Realness with 3 S's, and we'll see you soon. Bye.